Good morning from the repeater site, W6NWG. Here's the old battery building. Can't find the multimeter. It might be in the other battery building. I don't currently have a key for it. We're going to fire up the generator and let it run for a while. The water level in the batteries is about 50%, looks like, all across the board. And here's where we measure the our voltage levels for the battery. And here's the logbook where we make a notation. So if we can find a multimeter, which I'm sure we'll be able to do, then we'll do that today. You can see that the buildings have been painted. They're all a cheery green. Here is the trailer. We're going to have somebody come look at it. They may be interested in taking it. They've got it cleared out and ready for perusal. I'm going to sweep out the leaves before our interested party shows up. Here's our storage container. Everything appears to be in pretty good shape. And there's Andre. He's got his experiment set up for WinLink. We'll check in with him when he has some time to give us a quick tour. Okay, well, we have a procedure for retiring these batteries, these beautiful, wonderful batteries that have served us so long. They are worn out, as you might be able to see here and here. Still working, though. You can see, and maybe hear that they're bubbling away. So the first thing that we'll do is we'll throw breakers. Here's a breaker here, a little white doodad. There's a breaker above the rheostats on this guy. And we'll unplug it here. We'll throw all these breakers here and here and here. Alright, now after that's done, you're going to undo the head terminals, which are here and in the back underneath that blue layer of goo. Then you're going to undo the tail terminals. You see the two wires coming off the back over there? Those are the tail terminals. Good idea to tape all of these terminals with electrical tape, just in case. Alright, after you tape up the bare ends, take the straps off. These are the straps. They look like straps. Take all those off. After that, the filters come off. The filters are the things that are inside that other thing. I know that's really quite descriptive. Oh yeah, the whole thing is a sort of a filter. Unscrews and lifts out. Yeah, those come off. And then the batteries are capped. And we have a variety of little yellow caps wandering around up here that we'll have to inventory and see if we can find them all. And those go onto the place where the filter comes off. And after that, these batteries are pretty much well ready for the company to take. And that's going to be a coordination project, and we'll hopefully be able to film the actual retirement of all these batteries for you. Okay, that's it for today for the batteries.
And
This is Mike Pennington. Hi, Mike.
hi. And
These are going to go into the repeater building.
this will be strictly for inverted power, AC.
Cool.
Okay.
As you can see, there's lots of them.
Yeah. And then we have the other ends. That's just to keep somebody from accidentally plugging in a soldering iron or something like that.
Gotcha.
Here, with this wire here, it'll get separated, it'll go in a conduit, and then we'll come up and put another string of outlets, but they'll be inverted power. And then Art or John or somebody will decide which repeaters need to be priority, and they'll go from there.
Excellent.
It's going to be kind of a tough job with all the repeaters in here, but I think if we just run it underneath the existing, we should be okay.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
And this the black wire is regular commercial power. And it's going to get hooked up into this box, and what's there now is haywire over to the freezer building, which is haywire to, I'm sorry, to the sunken building, which is haywire to the freezer building.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so, anyway, that needs to be done on both buildings. We need to run conduit for PVC for control wires. We have some up here which is part of the door system, but it's not enough because we want to be able to monitor several things, and at this point we don't have enough wires. That will be done. And then this is the old battery distribution. This will all go away. I mean, there's no sense having it.
Yeah.
Because we won't have a 12-volt system. I don't know. Yeah, all this wiring will be removed.
You've been immortalized.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
oh my God. I'm just trying to remember where some of this wiring goes and how it goes.
Oh.
And if we could reuse some of the conduit for something else.
Yeah, well.
At this point,
So there's already conduit between buildings, and I mean we can drag stuff through it with the old.
Most of it's full.
Oh.
Full. In fact, I'm thinking about taking out the one that I ran for the new power for that building because I didn't like the way it pulled in.
Yeah.
It just went really hard, and I had some strange readings when I did continuity, and then I checked it later and it was okay, and I was like, so I don't know if it was the meter or if there was a problem.
Yeah.
But
Well.
it's one of those deals.
Yeah. May as well do it right.
Yeah, because we could use that lead for control, that conduit for control, and then run it like 1.5 inches and redo the power. This one's okay because it's got a different kind of wire, rubber coated instead of cloth coated.
Oh.
The cloth has, see this here, right here, this is cloth coated, but it's rubber underneath.
Oh.
And but it's very it's a soft rubber, so once the cloth wears off, which it does from time to time, it gets real sticky in the conduit.
Gotcha.
And that was the problem, I think, running that other stuff in. It's not as big as this, it's just number 6, but still.
Yeah.
It's about half again as big as that number 6, because that's a hard insulation.
Okay. Any other projects that we need to do in here?
Clean the place up.
Yeah.
Now that we've got, this is part of the technical thing, but we got stuff laying around. I think a lot of this could go in the storage area. Now that we got a decent place to put it,
Okay. I'll add that to the list.
This is the cloth covered wire
Okay.
that I don't like. I mean, it'd been okay if it had been run by itself, but running it with this wire, which, see, this is inverted power.
Okay.
You understand that, okay, the inverter, when we have commercial power, it feeds that commercial power through the inverter.
Okay.
And So this is actually commercial power right now, but if we were to lose commercial power, it'll switch, and then it'll be inverted power. So that way the inverter's not online, it's just on standby.
Okay.
So you got to remember, even if the inverter's off, you can still get bit here.
Right.
Repeater right here.
There's an ATV system. Oh boy. Lots and lots of wires and racks and complicated stuff there. Oh, it's nice and warm in here. That's probably why. Okay, we're back in the ATV building. And we'd like to find out what that is. And we'd like to find out what that is. Hi, Paul.
This says 224.90, so this must be the 220 club repeater. But that one says 224.380.
Yeah. What are you? Okay, we're going to find out and we're going to label it. Would you like to give us a tour of your setup?
Sure. Yeah, love to.
Cool.
It's a bit brisk up here.
It is a bit brisk. We think it's about 50 degrees. Ooh, look at all this neat stuff.
Yeah, so I would imagine you can probably see that from the driver's seat a little bit better.
Okay,
but,
I'll go around.
Before you do, let me just show you where the radios are.
Okay.
And they're a bit of a mess, just because I reconfigure them just about every time I want to try something new. But you know, there's not a lot of space to mount those out of the way in this truck, so that's where I go.
That's a nice.
So there's a
Nice
Nikon
place.
7000, which I was using as a UHF coordinating simplex channel today, and then beyond it is a Kenwood DM700, which I'm using for packet, and there's a Camtronics PPC3 Plus TNC, and then below it is an SCS PCT2 Pactor 3 motor TNC, and then battery and power supply and all of that underneath the other seat.
Yeah. Wow. It's an interesting installation. I like it.
So the TMD 700 control head and the IC 7000 control head, and this is what they call a UMPC, Ultimate Mobile PC, running AirMail, which is the client application we use. The test I actually ran on my full-size laptop. The reason being the software that I wrote the macro on has a $40 licensing fee per machine, so I developed it on that machine. I'm not prepared to spend the $40 to install it on this one until I've debugged it and run the proof of concept. But eventually it'll go on here, and this will run the whole thing. One of the things that I can do, I didn't do today, is I've got a Wi-Fi antenna I throw on the truck, and then there's a router mounted in the ceiling back there. So I establish a wide area network, or actually a local area network over Wi-Fi, and then I don't have to sit in the driver's seat and and operate it via remote control. But I didn't do that today. But the test was real successful. We passed, I don't know, probably 50 plus messages, I would imagine, including attachments of 13K in size, Word documents that were being passed back and forth between 6 stations. And it appeared to round robin through the entire list in about 2 minutes or less. And so that's the overhead. The rest of it is just is passing message traffic. So I'm thinking it's pretty efficient. So we'll see. We'll do a post-mortem over the next few days. There's a WinLink net tomorrow morning at 9:30 that we'll we'll be doing sort of a comparing notes discussion on, so that'll be good.
Fantastic.